Welcome back to the Hockey Show, and today we are talking about the New Jersey Devils, a team that feels like they are destined and are meant for a dynasty, but are just unbelievably feeling more like they're going to be rotting in hell for the next decade. So let's talk about it. But first, we should all celebrate because the NHL season's about to start in like 2 weeks. So, celebration time. So get the streamers by hitting that subscribe button and it'll explode in a couple of things. So do that if you're also excited for the NHL season or if you're excited for me to be back making videos. Regardless of anything, just hit the subscribe button because you might as well just do it for me. Anyways, the New Jersey Devils, a team that had a very poor year after having a really good breakout season 2 years ago, are kind of in the region of like where are things going to go. We went up here and then we dropped down here and now it's either going to go up or down again or stagnant, which is still basically a down because it was a bad year. So where are the New Jersey Devils going to go after having a year that was just bombarded by missiles of injuries, breaking down their offense, not being able to be as lethal to guys like Jack Hughes, Timo Meier, and then there's other bad injuries, but I'm an idiot right now, so I'm blanking on it. But anyways, bad coaching as well with bad line management from Lindsey Ruff with Simon Nemec, who wasn't clearly ready for the NHL. Alexander Holtz looking like a really good NHL player, but keeping him down the lineup. To multiple other issues coming from Lindsey Ruff, so he's been axed away from the team. And also bad defense with injuries to Dougie Hamilton and just overall just not being a competitive defense enough to really be a Stanley Cup playoff winning team. And, of course, the absolutely atrocious hellfire of defense, goaltending that was on New Jersey. So all of these problems stack up to a bad, abysmal year. And they address all of these concerns during this offseason. But my question, is any of it actually going to help them achieve this dynasty status that they seemingly have all the potential for? That is the question that we're asking right now. So let's see the addressed issues that I just said. So, of course, first up, injuries. I mean, the surgeons. First up, the surgeons patched everyone up. Good job by the surgeons. But anyways, the coaching, though. Lindsey Ruff, of course, out of there, goes back to Buffalo, and now Sheldon Keefe, the Toronto Maple Leafs golden coach, Mr. 5-year-old haircut himself, Sheldon Keefe has found his way in New Jersey, and I personally like the addition. I think Sheldon Keefe on the New Jersey Devils makes sense. I think Sheldon Keefe did bring a lot out of his team in Toronto. I think a lot of people I feel like people are on for the Maple Leafs for the most part either have their opinion is far right or far left. They either believe that the Maple Leafs are really bad, everything about them's bad, or they overly love them and everything was right? To me, I think Sheldon Keefe, his tenure there is in the middle, where he did a very good job of bringing what he had out of his players. I think he had a very sound defensive structure. I think he kept his team playing hard and was playing hard, right? The one thing you can say is that the Maple Leafs didn't always just get walked. Well, I guess that's not entirely true. But my question with Keefe is that, was it his problem or is it the players that he keeps getting handed problem, right? Because guys like Mitch Marner, just completely playoff bums, right? They go from first line material to fourth liner, right? AHL level guy, right? Then you also get guys like Austin Matthews being a 70-goal guy in the regular season to sure he creates, but he doesn't feel impactful. He doesn't really do too much to raise the Maple Leafs. So who's at fault there, right? And I don't believe Sheldon Keefe is to all blame there. So to me, for the New Jersey Devils to bring a team to a playoff run while also knowing how to manage very talented star players and also seemingly have a good structured team, Sheldon Keefe fits that role, and I think the New Jersey Devils are a good version of that for him to play with, right? And so for me, Keefe, it's hard to judge overall, but I do like the acquisition there, right? For defense, though, the main additions, of course, being Brendan Dillon and Brett Pesce from the Carolina Hurricanes, right? Dylan, amazing shutdown guy. Being a San Jose Sharks fan, I knew what this guy could do. He's he lays out the body. He blocks shots. He is a defenseman to a T. And a team like New Jersey that just really needs some bona fide defense in the back end of things to let guys like Jack Hughes do his job, or even guys like Luke Hughes in the back as well kind of do whatever they want. Guys like Brett Pesce, guys like Brendan Dillon, who are true defense savants. They they are going to help this team big time. Plus, Luke Hughes, guy like him, being in his second year of the NHL, having a great first year. Let's see how he does in the second year, right? Also, guys like Simon Nemec, not really NHL truly ready last year. This year, I have better hopes for him in this for this season. But also not so much pressure is on him, right? Last year, the defense was suffering. Hamilton, of course, was out basically a huge chunk of the year. So you're going to have Hamilton, Dillon, Pesce, Siegenthaler, Hughes, Nemec. You've got a very solid team. You don't have to put too much responsibility in young guys like Hughes and Nemec now. The guys like Dillon, guys like Siegenthaler, guys like Brett Pesce are there to take some weight off their shoulders defensively and on the front end of things, right? So defensively, I really like it, right? And so offense should be lethal with Jack, Timo Meier, if he can bounce back. Andre Palat, seemingly perfect timing for him to go back into a 50-point season. Nico Hischier, of course, is unreal. Dawson Mercer looks like he's ready to go to the next level. Jesper Bratt, right? Overall, the top six, very solid, very competitive, can definitely score a bunch of goals. Guys like Hischier, bona fide two-way forward, so they can play competitive on the ice. Then you get to the third line where guys like Haula, Tomas Tatar are down there. They have a very competitive group from offense and playing a good two-way game as well. So they've got the good mix up front. Defensively, very seemingly good defensive core as well. Goaltending, though, is another huge hole last year. Last year, just Mackenzie Blackwood and Nico Dawes and Akira Schmid and Jake Allen, I guess, as well. Whoever was in net for them, no one could save them for anything. Nothing could change that the goaltending was bad in New Jersey. That was just a fact. And they go out, and this offseason, they finally land Jacob Markstrom as their goaltender now. And I will say, between Jacob Markstrom and when other guys like Linus Ullmark were out there and stuff, I don't know why they wouldn't have gone all the way with Linus Ullmark, especially seeing the return that was for Ullmark. How did they not make that trade happen? But anyways, Jacob Markstrom's the goaltender that they land. And so far, we can only go off of one game because preseason just started yesterday. Well, not just started. I guess second day of preseason was yesterday. And the Devils played their first preseason game. Jacob Markstrom let in 2 goals. And I think he was 17 saves on 19 shots. And overall, he made a couple of really decent saves. And, but the goals, though. The goals are where things are still scary for me. Because this is first game of preseason, right? This is where you're having some guys truly play hard and showcase who they are for the first time. And especially for a guy like Jacob Markstrom, you're playing against a lot of AHL level guys, right? And his first goal that he let in as a New Jersey Devil was against Anders Lee, who just had a complete shot, right past the blue line, between the blue line and the dots, right in the center of the ice. Well, I guess a little bit to the left. Top far side corner, just misses it, right? And there was a little bit of deflection by Dougie Hamilton, which is another concern as well, because the defense breakdown in that game was horrible. The defense, the Devils' structure, bad. It was bad last game. So for me, it is a big issue for the Devils right now, where their first showcase of who they are this upcoming season. Dougie Hamilton had a couple of issues, Markstrom a couple of goals that feel like the first one of them he should have had, but it's just the second one was a 3-on-1 and he couldn't have saved it. I mean, it wasn't really his fault either, but really it's a showcase that to me it's the offense and defense, the play in front of Markstrom is not there yet. And to me, the bigger issue is the compete level of this team. Sheldon Keefe, clearly, the Toronto Maple Leafs compete level in the regular season especially, is definitely up here. it is Austin Matthews is scoring goals. Mitch Marner gets tons of points. William Nylander. Like, a lot of the guys have a lot of need to play. But the Devils are one of those teams that I'm concerned with the actual compete level, where they're going to fight and grind out a game. And the Devils, to me, right now, on paper, feel like a team that are either going to win a game 5-1 or they will lose a game 3-2. That is my issue with the Devils right now. And they lost that game 4-2 to the New York Islanders. And I just don't see them changing that right now, the way I see this team. And of course, it was just one preseason game, nothing special, but it was against the New York Islanders, a team that is already pretty poor at offense, with the half AHL squad on the ice and AHL goaltending, right? It is just kind of scary to see that the Devils, who should be offensively thriving, had a struggle against a team against like the New York Islanders in a preseason game. It scares me. It scares me to see what's going to happen going forward. And so the New Jersey Devils, for my opinion right now, after being a huge supporter of them and thinking that they're a dynasty level team, I just don't think it's there. I think the pieces that they added just are not panning out like Timo Meier, like Markstrom so far, like my prediction going forward. I don't think Markstrom's going to be that Vezina level goaltender that they wanted to be. I think he's going to be a better goalie than they had last year. But overall, I don't see this team being able to compete and grind out big games. And are they a playoff team? I would say it's pretty tough. I think the East is so congested this year of good teams that they might get pushed out again. And even if they get in, it's going to be in a wild card spot. And if they get into there, they are still going to get dusted by a team that's in front of them. I think if they are a wild card team, they play against a team like Bruins, they're screwed. If they play against a team like the Rangers, they're screwed. I think if they make it into like a top 3, like if they play against a team like the Hurricanes, I think they're screwed. I just don't think this Devils squad, the way that it's put together right now, is good enough to take them big places. And to me, the New Jersey Devils are going to be another team that has another year where they're going to be better than they were last year. There's no doubt about that. But they are going to be they will be in the tight wild card race, and they either make it in and they can get bounced to the first round, or they just barely miss it. That's my guess for the New Jersey Devils. And I think they are destined for hell right now, because I think they have not and are not making the right moves for them going forward. But that is all I got to say. So thank you for watching this. And if you made it this far, once again, please, you might as well subscribe, because it'll make me smile like this. And until next time, too sweet, have an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.